Hi there. Are you looking to speak with your spirit guides on a new level? Sometimes, even people who already know how to speak with their spirit guides need to level up. They need to rewrite the script. When I first started talking to my spirit guides, I didn't know the difference between my intuition and my fear. I didn't know that I was just following my fear instead of following what could be. And I didn't realize that what could be is what my spirit guides are telling me. I wanted to understand myself, but I didn't understand myself. And the truth was, I wasn't listening either. So when I was in a hard place in my life, I decided that I was going to see if there were spirits out there that could help me, to see if guardian angels really were true. And the answer I got surprised even me. As I sat and meditated on this subject, I started feeling this energy in my heart chakra that I hadn't felt in a long time. I had been extremely depressed and sad, and I didn't even remember what it felt like to be happy anymore. I was confused on what happiness really was for me. And I felt this feeling inside my heart that was so foreign, but so like I remembered it and I couldn't help. I couldn't help but feel like this feeling is what I've been missing this whole time. So that was the sign for me that my spirit guides were there, because they made me feel this feeling that nothing else was giving me. So the next thing I did after that was I wrote a letter to them. And this kind of bridges the material and immaterial worlds together. So what's going on in your head is brought out onto the outside. And so that's why journaling works really well when working through trauma or working through difficult times. Journaling can bring out things inside of you you may not have recognized. And then when you look back and reread it again, you may gain a different perspective on the situation. For this video, we are writing a letter to our spirit guides. So first, you're going to need some paper and a pen. And pause this video if you need to gather that up really quick. And then we will go through the things you need to write down. And after the video, take time by yourself, put on a relaxing video, song, or anything that doesn't have words, anything that's just background noise, and get to writing and be very honest with yourself. Do not, if you're telling yourself it's stupid, if you're telling yourself that it's not true, then that is that voice inside you that's always been stopping you up to this point. So push past that. Our first question is one that many people like to ask. That is, what is your name? Now, you may be surprised if the name is a grandparent, because oftentimes when we're learning how to speak to our spirit guides, our ancestors are the first ones to come through because we actually know that they're there. Our spirit guides are not dim by any mean of the word. They can see all ways, and they can also be in other people's minds and sense other people's energy. They can be anywhere at once. So if your grandparent has passed away, they are with you. They are with everyone else in your family, protecting you and hoping that you will open up to them so they can give you advice. Okay, maybe if you're having trouble with someone else in your family and you listen to your grandparent on the other side, or your parent, whoever it is, they could give you advice on what you can do to fix the problem, or maybe they can give you insight on how that other person is feeling that you may not even recognize. And also, this is why cards come into play too. If you are not ready to speak to them directly through your mind, you can use oracle cards or tarot cards to get that message. But right now we are writing. So the question is, what is your name? And if you don't get a name, that's okay. If you get a number, a color, a picture, okay, maybe it's an animal or something, write down whatever you get when you ask, what is your name? Okay. For question number 2, it is, how are you helping me? Okay. Because they are helping you right now. So how are you helping me? And when you get the answer, feel free to write it down and to figure out what's going on in between the two of you. If something has changed since the last time you have tried this, consider that in your writing. The third question here is, how can I strengthen my connection? Very important here. And they're telling me intuitively that you're probably going to get something along the lines of, stop abusing substances, start exercising and take care of your body, start learning how to do energy healing, Reiki, chakra cleansing. All of that stuff is extremely important right now. And anything else that your spirit guides are telling you. I'm also getting like, take your dog on a walk. So whatever you can do to strengthen that connection, that's what you're asking. Be open to any ideas or images or anything that comes to your mind. The next question is, what am I not realizing? It's extremely easy to be focusing on the physical and not realizing that you're putting the blinders on in some other area. So ask, what am I not realizing? What am I not seeing? What's stopping me from seeing? Because it's a gradual process. It's not like you get your degree and you're a doctor. Like, no. You have to go through the years of learning little by little and processing and experiencing. Okay, so maybe what you're not realizing is that this is actually going to take a level of dedication that you have never experienced with anything else before. You're dedicating not only yourself to spirits, but you're dedicating yourself to following your higher self's path, following the path for your highest good and connecting with this energy that is not visible. So it's really difficult to like see that if you're not originally a very spiritual person, if you've not been connected to yourself very well in the past, if you felt like you were in an outsider's body, maybe you felt like the inside didn't match the outside. Okay, maybe that's what you're missing. Maybe it's the negative self-talk. You're believing that you can't do it, and so you can't do it. It can literally just be an invisible wall of belief that's stopping you from communicating with your spirit guides. So whatever you feel is the answer to that, whatever image you get in your mind, maybe it's a brick wall or a fence or a person or an object or a situation from the past even, write it all down, okay, all of it. And the last, or there's 2 more questions here. We have setting boundaries. Okay, so if you're afraid of what is on the other side, it's so important that you say, this is for my highest good. I only want to work with the healing energies, and my mission right now is to heal myself, and possibly so you can heal others, or so that you can live your best life. You can be the most authentic version of yourself. This not only tells your spirit guides what you want, but it also tells yourself what you want. Okay, inside of us, we always have these 2 voices fighting. It's like the angel and the devil on the shoulders. The devil's the fear inside of us. The angel is the higher self who's like, you have all this potential, why aren't you doing it? Okay, and then the fear, we listen to the fear too much. But we need to start listening to the other thing. Okay, you are this way for a reason. You love these things for a reason. You have passions for a reason. You have a style that is all your own for a reason. We're not supposed to be like everybody else. The world would be so boring. So the universe is saying, set your boundaries with the spirit world. If you don't want to see spirits, say you don't want to see them. But if you do, say, I'm open to seeing a spirit or whatever the universe wants to show me. I'm open to signs. So show me the signs, and the animals around me in the clouds and the sky. Show me the signs. And the last thing is writing, this is what I want our relationship to look like. Okay, so I want us to be able to talk any time of the day that I need you. I want to be able to contact the spirit world anytime. I want you to be honest with me. Okay, I want you to tell me exactly what I need to be doing, even if I don't want to hear it, even if it's too difficult. And I'm going to be open to these suggestions. That's, every relationship is give and take. You must give to get more information. So this is that breadcrumb path I like talking about. So spirits will give you an idea, and if you don't do it, you're not going to see any results. If you get too scared and you don't do it, the results are not going to be there for you. So it's extremely important that you are listening to your spirit guides and then doing the things that they're asking you to do. And it may feel like they're not listening to me. I've asked, they're not listening. Well, the truth is maybe you're not doing what they're asking you to do. So it could be getting over an emotion that's been stuck within you for many years. That takes time to work through. And Reiki healing can just heal any energy that needs to be healed. You don't have to be specific about what you're healing. So I highly recommend Reiki healing to anyone who is interested in working with their spirit guides or working with their energy, any empaths, light workers, earth angels, whatever you call yourself. It's extremely important to learn the energy of Reiki because it is the exercise, it is the knowledge of knowing how to work with energy on the most basic level. I will say I didn't learn Reiki until after I started speaking with my spirit guides, but because I did the flip-flop, I could see like I should have learned how to do Reiki many years ago. It would have changed everything for me. I was kind of in this mindset where I was like, I have to identify something before I can let it go. But the truth is that only happens for the extremely difficult things blocking your path. Most of the time, it's just old energy that you're holding on to, and you can just release it. Another idea I'm getting for what I want this relationship to look like is, please help me become aware of what I need to be doing differently. Please help me become aware of the bad habits that I have and what I can do to fill them with the good. And when you are learning to speak with your spirit guides, get ready for a whole bunch of changes. You can't keep living the way that you've been living if you want change. So be ready to cut out those addictions that are no longer helping you, cut off, maybe spend less time with people who are sucking up your energy and leaving you feeling drained. This is definitely not a suggestion to just uproot and leave. There can be some kind of healing done. See what they have to say. If you have any more questions about what you can be doing, ask your spirit guides and you can write it down. The easiest way that I've personally found to speak with spirit is through the thoughts. So when I ask a question, I just silence my mind. That's what meditation is good for. I'm able to silence my mind and get images in my mind and words in my mind, and I trust that that's them giving it to me. I used to sit there on the computer and type, and it was like I was on autopilot just typing these words that they were giving to me. And then when I reread it, it was always very interesting because it was things that I wouldn't say to myself. It was always this perspective that was like bigger than me, bigger than I ever imagined that my perspective would get to. And over time of speaking with them and getting advice from them, I started to be able to differentiate the difference between them and me talking in my mind. And now we just talk every day, all the time. And I feel like a crazy person sometimes. But day after day, situation after situation, my ego, my doubt is always proved wrong You know, if I ask for a sign, within 5 to 10 minutes, something comes into my life and gives me a sign. So an animal that's flying by, or something, a bug or something, I see a cloud, maybe there's a noise outside, or whatever it is. Maybe I'm reading and I read something that gives me the answer. Okay, you just have to be open to it. Maybe you just have this overwhelming urge to watch a movie or watch some kind of content on YouTube, and all of a sudden there's your answer. So stop doubting yourself. I'm getting the message that if you're going to try to put yourself out there in a new way, that just go a little by little, and when it comes, you'll be ready for it because you've already put the work into trying to figure it out. Um, and you'll already kind of be a master at your craft. This is a tool that you can use for the rest of your life. When you're speaking with your spirit guides, this is a skill. You know, it's something that's learned. There's no one that can just flip the switch on for you. It's you going within, facing your own stuff that has been blocked for so long. Stop being the victim of the circumstances that have brought you to this point, because all of the things that you've done to get yourself to this point can be forgiven, or can be forgiven, maybe forgot. And I'm getting that you must forgive yourself for not knowing any better in the past. But now that you know, every action that you take from today on is going to create this reality that you're hoping for. So thank you for listening to this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm also considering doing a letter to your inner child and your past self. What else do I have? Your future self. So if you want to hear about any of those, how to write letters to that portion, I'm super happy to make a video about that. If there's any other things that you'd like to know, or any stories that you'd like to hear, let me know in the comments, and I'm so happy to answer them for you. Thank you for watching, and love and light.